Hello, everyone. Bill Molyneux here, 25th of November, and this is just one of those fun, wacky um, talks about the basement stuff. So, we are working on our last of our German Paratroopers, and I really want to get these done so I can continue with my early war battles. Very excited about that, and Um, now, Walt and the Chuckleheads on Saturday, where I've not been able to game with them, Walt and the guys have been producing some Chucklehead productions, we're calling them, where Goober and I aren't there. And then Walt's sending me some of the files and I'm uploading them. So hopefully you'll view a few of those. Um, so, what we're working on right now, to figure out where I am on this camera, is Thanksgiving is coming just a few days away. And I need to say thank you to all of you. I have almost 4,000 subscribers on a channel that an old fat guy has put together with hardly no edits, and a stuffed bear on the other channel, and just trying to make people laugh and work on our hobby, try to make it grow, and also try to relive the past. I'm amazed how many people don't know who Charles Grant and Donald Featherstone, and God forbid we even go into the H.G. Wells era of Little Wars. So I appreciate all of you that watch my channel. Um, so we're hitting the brown here. My upcoming projects. Okay, we're going to be going to the Virginia home. Lisa, no matter how her health is, she said she's going. And yes, the last couple of times she's been unable to go. And of course, all of you know I can't say much more than that. Um, but she's going to go, and we're going to spend several days down in Virginia. My plan is I'm going to see if I can get my neighbor, Mr. James, who's a retired sheriff, but not a war gamer. And I'm going to see if I can't get him to play Raven Feast in the boathouse. And so that's my project with him. Um, and believe it or not, the Virginia house is much warmer, um, temperature wise. Like last Friday, it was like 36 degrees here in Maryland, northern Maryland, and down there it was almost 60. So there's quite a bit of temperature change by going south 200 miles. And of course, so that's my Thanksgiving plans. I hope everyone in England, Australia, Germany, New Zealand who follow my channel. I don't think you guys do Turkey Day like we do in America, but I'll wish Ronald McDonald and all my followers overseas a happy Thanksgiving anyhow. So we're painting figures up. Last night I posted the Wake Island board game. Um, Almost forgot I even designed that. Um, we sold several batches in the print and play version with a long time ago, and then David Heath and Lock and Load picked it up and revamped it, made it look a lot better. But of course, COVID came and really messed up the wargaming world, and so I'm hoping we'll get some sales with Blue Panther. You can buy them through Blue Panther. I need to stress, it is not a Bill Molyneux normal game. There is a lot more to it detailed wise. I know at times people will say my games are too simplistic or this or that for board games, even though I concentrate on the museum gift shops to expand the hobby. But this game, the Wake Island game, is got a lot more to it than what you think. Peter Schultz, Jim Shaw, Dennis Bishop, they all helped with it. So as I keep painting these, I'd love to have these done so when I come back home next week, I can continue with my invasion of Belgium with my German paratroopers. And I have an hour here or so to paint before I have to do chores for my wife. And but I am hoping to maybe get a little bit of wargaming in down in Virginia. I got to keep the channel hopping, so all of you keep watching. Do you know we've raised over $200 now from YouTube views for the Civil War trail signs? Now, those of you in Europe don't know what Civil War trail signs are, but in America, mostly, of course, on the East Coast, along the road, there'll be a sign, red, white, and blue sign, and it'll say Civil War trails, and then off to the side of the road, there will be a marker, and it'll tell you about, a general died there, or a general lived there, or I'll give an example. This past week, we were at General James J. Pettigrew's mansion in Harford County, Maryland. And I'll tell you, that road to get to that was no easy task. It was a little mountainy little road. So that's what Civil War trail signs is. Well, they make hundreds of these signs all over the East Coast, and they cost $300-400 a sign. So we're just trying, if I can raise enough with Goober YouTube views, with you guys watching my channel, and we raise enough here, we got till December 25th to raise $300, and we're over 200 now. You know, not bad for an old chubby dude who uses 54 millimeter figures, coming up with little charities. Now, this past weekend, I delivered Goober calendars to a whole mess of museums and Goober checks. That's right, $50 checks went out to several small museums that support war games. The Matthews Museum in Matthews, Virginia, the Matthews Tompkins Cottage. Tompkins Cottage, Sally Tompkins was the only Confederate female officer. And she was made an officer by the Confederate Army, and she ran the hospital in Richmond during the American Civil War. And she was given rank to tell officers to get back in bed when they were sick and things like that. And she treated both Union and Confederate soldiers alike. She is buried in Matthews, Virginia, and she's really was an outstanding person for helping the sick and wounded. And again, on both sides. It didn't matter if you were wearing blue or butternut brown or Confederate gray. So, and I have made YouTube videos of the cottage on my history channel, and also her resting place at the Episcopalian Church. Speaking of my history channel, I'm still at 533 viewers. Is there a chance a few of you could go over to Bill's History World with Goober the Traveling Bear and subscribe to help my algorithms? It's really interesting how the channel does get some good views. 12,000 views for some of the videos, and others only 30 or 40. But if I could get even another 100 people to subscribe, would be fantastic. And if you could even ask a friend to subscribe to Bill's History World. And when I started that a year and 3 months ago, the whole concept was to do the battlefields and different things, but ones that weren't covered so much. So if you go on there you might be surprised of the different videos I have, and I'm quite proud of the ones at the Carlisle War College where I was allowed to film on base. And the Maryland Veterans Museum is over 30 videos, and my Black History videos for all the African American soldiers throughout time. And we just did another one, a Medal of Honor winner, or awarded a Medal of Honor. They don't win it; they are awarded it for their uh, sacrifice. Usually, many, of course, Medal of Honor recipients don't always aren't always alive when they receive them. But so there's 16 Medal of Honor winners or recipients, excuse me, of African American during the Civil War, and I have now videoed 3 of their sites. So I'm going to work on trying to get to all of them before the end of my days on Earth. So at least that's my idea. And I hope some of you will go to the other channel. So my hope is here to get these paratroopers done. And as you all know, I do quite a bit of stuff. I'm trying to also finish the Gloucester board war game and the Battle of the Hook. And that takes time to make maps and counters and the rules. So I'm always busy. Now, and of course, with the Chuckleheads. And I really miss doing stuff with them. I don't get to do as much with them since we bought the house in Virginia. But we do have the Battle of the Bulge game coming up at Fort Belvoir in Virginia. And we're also going to be doing Cold Wars and my favorite war game convention, the Williamsburg Muster Valentine's Weekend in Williamsburg, Virginia, with Cotton Jim and all the guys down there. And I think we're going to be I'll be running, believe it or not, the Battle of Weiss Fork in 54 millimeter. And so you can see it at Cold Wars or the Williamsburg Muster. And I don't know what the plans will be. 10-foot table probably. I won't go extreme like I did with Fort William Henry. We'll say Fort William Henry was pretty interesting, to say the least. And but I was disappointed in the turnout at Fall In on Saturday night. It really wasn't as perky as it normally would be. And I even had problems getting enough players the one night. I ran it 4 times, and of the 4 times, 1 we were a little short on people. The other 3 we were fine or even extra. All right, we're now going to do the classic caramel I'm using for the belts on these. And I don't know. There we go. So we got some paint there. And we're going to start with this figure here. And now my wife was sort of surprised I was painting these because of my little bitty eye issues I do have. But I said I was going to try and paint a little like Jim Shaw has taught me. Not go nutty though. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not sure on the whole wargaming world on 54 millimeter figures. I'm sort of surprised. Some people really find it odd to wargame with them, and I don't understand that since they were the original wargaming figures for wargaming. But I think some of our history of wargaming is isn't what it used to be either. As the generations move away from traditional wargaming, and in that sense, that they're there's I bet the average 30 and under. I'm not painting with a broad brush, but I'm going to just say I bet a lot of them don't know about H.G. Wells and Little Wars. Not Little Wars YouTube channel, which is phenomenal, of course, with Greg and Tony and Miles and all of them, but um, Little Wars, the rule book by H.G. Wells. So, but we're, oh, I don't know what really is the history of wargaming in that sense, but I do think that the younger generation I do think they enjoy the fantasy 40K and the fantasy stuff more because they don't have to worry about learning about history so much. But that's my own opinion. And of course, I recently have watched a YouTube video where some more gamers, more the younger generation, don't necessarily like wargaming historical because of the stigma tied in with I don't want to be German or I don't want to be Confederate or Japanese or basically the bad guys of history. So that's something else that's out there. And oh, but for all things considered, I just really like learning about history. I think I've learned a great deal from the Maryland Veterans Museum with historian Nell and Connie. They're husband and wife historian team at that museum. I've made over 40 videos with them on their historical museum. Walt and the Chuckleheads have been there with me. We've done some great donations there. And of course, the Goober calendar supports that museum. And like I keep doing, I'm just going to keep asking. And please don't forget your Goober calendar. If you can afford one, $15, please consider buying one. And all you have to do is go Google the Goober calendar. And I know calendars. I see them in Walmart every day. They're $4.98, $7 for a John Wayne calendar or Simpsons or whatever. They're half the price of mine. But mine is supporting a museum, and a very nice museum at that really could use some help. So you're not just buying a calendar, you're really helping a historic site. And if you're really wondering about them, you can check out any of the videos of the Maryland Veterans Museum on my channel, Bill's History World with Goober the Traveling Bear. And, it's, well, I know that Sheriff John was checking out my stuff on Virginia because I had to go to the sheriff's office the other day, and Sheriff John of Broome County, New York, and he had, but I had to go to the Matthews County Sheriff. Nothing super important or bad, but just somebody was getting their mail at my house with a different address, so I had to get that fixed or find out why. And they were very nice there, very nice. Oh, our German paratroopers are coming along. Probably in hindsight, um, Jim Shaw, if you're watching this, probably in hindsight, I should have zipped over to your house, made the hour and a half drive, and dropped them off. And but I really thought I'd get along on these faster, but life gets in the way, and I'm sure all of you have had that happen to you, where you have a plan to get stuff done, but you get bogged down and you can't make it. So I dropped the radio operator, everyone. So there we go. And we have to remember my German paratroopers, they don't have to be perfect. Okay. And I actually I've gotten a lot of emails from people saying I can't make my stuff look that good according to Flames of War rule book or bolt action rule book or what they see on different channels, and they actually get depressed. And I'll tell you, if you had a lot of life issues, there's a point in time in your life that you don't really care. And I don't want to go more into that, but you just, for me, I'm just having fun. And, it is what it is. But if I was meant to impress people in my world of wargaming here, uh, I'd learn how to edit my videos. I actually can edit, by the way. I spent quite a bit of time um, doing a YouTube class, and but I decided I am me, and I'm not doing a lot of extra work like that. So it's just a decision I made. I don't know if it's right or wrong because I don't even have 4,000 followers. I'm close to it. But I'd rather have fun, bug people like John the Sheriff and Frank Perez, who is running Cold War's War Game Convention in Gettysburg this year. Leap year weekend. General Montcalm's birthday, by the way. General Montcalm, of course, the greatest general ever. So all my British viewers right now are probably spitting their tea out as I talk about a French Indian War general in such a manner. But it's sort of fun to goof around. So they say every time you add another color to a figure, it enhances it. And of course, we were watching a Sherlock Holmes movie with Higgins from Magnum PI as Watson and Edward Woodward of the Breaker Morant Wicker Man and also Battleground Miniature Wargaming World. And he was a huge wargamer. And I wonder who got all of his wargaming stuff. I don't know. I find it sad when you go to a wargamer passes away and you hear their stuff is up for sale and it's at the flea market and stuff. I got everything I have pretty much being donated to people. So and then they have to drag tons of 54 millimeter stuff glued on 50,000 poker chips out of this basement, and I'll be laughing as a ghost. And but it's just funny that the world is the way it is. And Walt's been working hard, the chuckleheads, on these videos, by the way. So King of the Battlefield is the current video they worked on, with Michael Kennedy doing the rules stuff. He's like the rules lawyer of the group. I don't know what I am. I guess I'm just the goof. And of course, we have Colonel Handsome in the group. He's the handsome one who's the chick magnet. I don't know how that's possible, but it seems to be. My wife says he has very good complexion for his age, 70 or whatever he is. All I know is I think it's ridiculous. And then Kevin says he never had any superior dating skills when he was younger. So I don't know what happened when he turned older. But so now, if you're watching this video still, I'm amazed, but I'm not painting the best. But once I dip these in a black wash and add their camo color and their black to their weapons and browns, they'll be good enough. They'll be good enough for the tabletop, 3-4 foot range. I don't do a lot of close-ups of my stuff in the videos because of, it's stuff I painted. Now, Jim Shaw's painting is superior, but we all know that I'm lucky to see this stuff very good. But I am very happy to have so many wonderful friends. Jim Shaw and for painting, and then Josh, of course, for 3D printing power. The Chuckleheads, the Hawks are a great batch of guys too. You got Duncan and the Schlegel brothers. There's 3 Schlegel brothers, and I'm sorry, I'm sort of mispronouncing their name a little bit, with Kevin, Eric, Kurt, and gosh, I think it's Dave. I forgot one of their names. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Well, our next color I think we'll go to will be black. What do you think? Frank Prez says always paint from the inside out. So painting from the inside out. All right. Is everyone still with me? How many minutes have we gone? We've gone 28 minutes of me babbling. Well, you got to admit, it's if you're still watching, I'm amazed. But thank you anyhow. I think I'll stay up late tonight, maybe to finish these if my eyes will let me. My idea is to hit the weapons with a black right now, and then let my eyes rest. I have to do some chores for the wife, and then come back down here 7-8 o'clock and start their camouflage. So that's sort of the idea here. And start the camouflage painting. And so now, almost forgot his grenade, everyone. He's got a grenade in his hand. And believe it or not, I'm having a heck of a time painting that grenade. I can't quite see it. It's a little off, and I am wearing my giant bug glasses, the magnifying lens glasses There's also a prism in it to help me keep from having double vision. And so it will, it is amazing as you add each color how much better they look, isn't it? I like to say it is really neat to have the amount of people that do watch. And Dan Monroe's YouTube channel, Movies, Monsters, and Music. His channel talks about things like Lost in Space Robot, um, a lot of sci-fi, Planet of the Apes, different TV shows and movies. And he, in a year's time, he has like built that channel from into hundreds of thousands of viewers. It's incredible. Um, Very nice fella. He's actually responded to me several times. Um, Sort of wish about sending him a Goober calendar. So, but he's got a great YouTube channel. Another person who has a great YouTube channel is VA Travels. Chris of VA Travels. His 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 channel is really good. Um, he mostly hits bed and breakfasts, and he does some military sites, but he's more of a building person. So mansions, taverns, historic villages. Um, but he does hit battlefields from time to time. I've met him. He's a great guy, and I know he ordered a Goober calendar today. So I I'm hoping maybe he'll even talk about it on his channel. So um, he has about 20,000 subscribers, and he has some videos that have gone viral. You know, I do have some 80 and 90,000 view channel or videos, but they're far and few between. Mostly of the Gettysburg Miniature Shop and the Toy Soldier Shop at Ligonier. That one went 84,000, I think. But if I get one person to watch my goofiness, I'm happy. So, and if I can get a couple $100 worth of Goober calendar sales for my little cool museum in Maryland, they have a Gatling gun in there. Walt's actually turned the crank on it and got in trouble. At the time, they didn't have a sign that says, "Don't turn the crank on the Gatling gun." They do now because Walt turned the crank on the Gatling gun. So, but they're a great museum. They really are, and can't say enough about Connie. She has worked with me and Goober on trying to promote history. We've done some really out of the box stuff. We've talked about Jimi Hendrix being in the 101st Airborne, for instance. I mean, some really neat stuff. So, and so I'm going to finish this radio operator, and then I'm going to turn off this camera and upload this video and keep it at 30 minutes, a little over probably. So we'll just finish up this last radio operator, and I'm going to clean the paintbrush. Now what we're going to do is we're finish these. We got to do their camo, their weapons, and then I'll dunk them all in my famous black and white paint. It's 50% water with 50% paint, and that'll give it that extra seepage. And that's about it. And then, of course, we'll flock them. And this is the finished product. And of course, please remember, I'm lucky to get these even painted. But stay safe, be kind, be courteous. Soon they will be hitting the Belgium going in with all the other cool figures here. And stay safe, be kind, be courteous, and thank you everyone for watching. Google Goober Calendar. Thank you.